Hello there, I'm Ken, and you're watching Kilt Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have a confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. Today, in honour of the American presidential election, we'll be cooking up a special Scottish dinner, fish and chips. Although instead of fish, we'll be cooking chicken. And instead of chips, we will be cooking fried okra. You thought you were getting one thing, instead you're getting something totally different. Much like the American election. So sit back, relax, as we help make America cook again. Right, we're going to start with a buttermilk bath. Measure out about a cup of buttermilk and stick it into a bowl. Now we're going to set that aside for now, but it will come in handy very shortly here. We're going to cut into our chicken breasts. If you're like me, you get the individually wrapped kind. And we're going to make slices of about equal thickness. This breast is so big we were able to get 4 slices, about that thick, about 1 centimetre. And then we're going to make it so that they're equal length. So just cut them in half as need be. Now some chicken pieces have these nasty white bits on them. Cut them off, throw them away, they taste bad. Get your buttermilk out and we're going to dredge each piece of chicken breast in the milk. This way the tempura batter can stick to it. That makes it very easy to fry later. For right now though, go wash your hands off, they're covered in salmonella. Now we're going to take about 4 to 6 cups of vegetable oil and dump it into this medium-sized pot. This is going to be our frying implement. And then we're going to stick that onto our stovetop and turn it to high, and then just let that get nice and hot. Take a cup of tempura batter, or in my case, dump the remainder of your bag. This particular brand had about 3 cups worth. Take about a teaspoon of celery seed and a teaspoon of garlic salt and a teaspoon of regular kosher salt, and then dump that into the mixture too, adding some pepper for flavour. And we're just going to mix it up. I don't know if you noticed this, but this particular recipe is going to be blending 3 different types of cooking. Southern American, Scottish, and Asian with the tempura batter. So everyone has the right to be angry at this dish. Take your chicken pieces and then just roll them around in that mixture. It shouldn't take any time at all, but for sake of editing, we're just going to go real quick. Like so. Very nice. And now we're going to dump the rest of that mixture into a large gallon-sized Ziploc baggie. And dump about a half cup of buttermilk in there. You can use the remainder of the buttermilk bath if you like. I didn't think of it at the time, but you can if you want to save your ingredients for later. Cut open your okra and then just dump it into the Ziploc bag. And then we're just going to mix all that up together. Get a nice uniform coating, or at least as uniform as we can. And then we're going to lay it out onto a cookie tin. Just like so. Use a tatty masher to even it all out, so that no one piece is sticking out above the rest. Now we can add about 3 or 4 slices of chicken breasts to our hot oil before the oil cools down. Once the oil cools down, it does not heat properly, and that makes it so that it takes longer for our chicken to cook, and that's not good. It should take about 4 or 5 minutes before they're this nice, rich golden brown, or in my case, a wee bit browner than I intended, but keep an eye on that. The best way to see if your chicken is cooked is to take your fattest piece and cut it in half. If it's white inside and looks like chicken should, then your other pieces should be fine as well. And you have a baseline for how long it should take. For me, it was about 4 to 5 minutes. Now okra, well, use your tatty masher like a wee bit of a basket and just kind of scoop your okra in there. This way you don't risk burning yourself nearly as much. Now this is a point of concern. Deep fat frying food can be a fire hazard, and you could accidentally burn yourself with the hot oil. Be very careful around it. Don't let children or pets near frying when you deep fat fry. But when you yourself are doing it, just look at what you get to look at. I don't have many shots like this because it was dangerous for my camera to be this close. But from this angle, I think you can see the important stuff that matters. It takes about a minute and a half for okra to get to this level of doneness. And that's good. That's good. Personally, I like it when my okra clumps together because the batter is so thick. Some people like each individual piece of okra to be separate from the rest. And that's fine, that's their right, that's how they prefer it. Maybe they've got a recipe that they learned from their great-great-great-great-grandmother that they find sacrosanct. I dunno. Oh, piece of okra fell down. Well, sometimes you have to rescue them with the tongs and blow them out so the fire doesn't catch. Wash all your implements because pretty much everything has touched raw chicken at some point. And salmonella, while it sounds quite funny, is a not funny disease. It, well, let's just say it makes you evacuate from both ends, and that's quite unpleasant, especially if you have to work the next day, or you're on a big date, or something to that effect. And no, there is no personal example there. Whoop, got my towel wet. Squeeze that on out. And that should be the last of our okra. Now, I would recommend using a towel to sop up all that grease and oil, but I forgot to. Oh well, no big deal. And once you got all the okra and you're done, set your oil aside, and we're going to dump that in the trash later. But for now, I think it's time to eat, don't you?
That's our show. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned a lot. Specifically, how Scots cook their food, which, if you noticed, we fry everything. Well, unlike fish and chips, which I promised you, we wind up getting chicken and okra, which is much like the selection, where you thought you were getting one thing, but instead you got another. You're watching Kilt Can Cook, where we get the trolliest of all individuals, the most deplorable of all the unredeemables, and we stick them in a basket together, and we watch the world burn.